Welcome everybody to the Gooner Gathering. I am Lee the Body, Gooner Gathering's father and son of the Gooner Lee Meads, joined by Posh Bertie. Hello, sir. How are you?
These were the technical issues you were having troubles with.
Yes.
Before we went live.
Yes.
Brilliant. Yes, I'm very good, thank you. All the better for that electrifying interview right there. Thank you very much. No, I'm doing good today. Thank you, and I've been strangely looking forward to discussing these matters with you. How are you today?
I've had a very draining day, but I'm feeling all festive for some strange reason. I don't know why. Of course, I'm paying homage to Jesse the Body Ventura, making his TV return on Saturday night's main event on Saturday. It was fantastic. I enjoyed that, and I look forward to talking about that over on WrestleDogs. But we are here, of course, to talk about. I can't say any more than a disappointing draw, 0-0 draw, in fact, against Everton. But before we get all into all of this, let's just take a moment. I just want to put a tweet up that I saw a little while ago from the Highbury squad. And of course, we've got Bukayo Saka here being awarded the Player of the Month for November by Super Kevin Campbell's sister. I'm sure the current number 7 will be extremely proud to receive that from the sister of our previous number 7. Of course, celebrating the life of Kevin Campbell over the weekend, I think, is a bigger issue than anything we've got behind the scenes here at the club. But I just wanted to bring that up and just big up to the Highbury squad as well, because they do fantastic stuff over on their channel. I thought it was only fitting to start this stream like that. Goodness me, AFC Always is already in the chat, mate.
Yes, I saw he's in the chat. But yeah, absolutely. Because, of course, both Arsenal and Everton are associated with Kevin Campbell. And it was a nice touch there with Saka being awarded the Player of the Month by Kevin Campbell's sister. So, yeah, very, very nice things there. And, of course, rest in peace to Kevin Campbell, of course. He's a lovely man, from what I heard. As a person, From what I heard, he's a very nice man. And he was a good footballer as well.
He certainly was. In fact, I think they celebrate the life of Rocastle Campbell and Jose Antonio Reyes over the game on Saturday. So, yeah, that is the sentimental thing done. Of course, so let's just bring up a few comments here. I'll take care of this. AFC Always already saying Lee and Bertie, big up. Things to be need to be addressed on this Arsenal team. He says 5 years deep, £800 million spent, and this is what's being served up. Absolutely pathetic. Sack this manager. This is what we look like 5 years in. We've got worse. We're going backwards. He also says, and again, this is
AFC Always. Martin Keown said that we needed years before Arteta signed his dream team, despite the fact that he already spent 800 million.
All right.
Sorry.
Can I just address this comment and then we'll get into everything that we need to talk about? All right. I'm hoping I'll see the lineup in just a second. I can't. Never mind. I'll deal with it in a minute. He said it's a nice touch from Arsenal and Everton, which is well deserved. True gentlemen. As I say, I'm privileged enough to know people who have worked with Kev over here on YouTube and stuff. He was a jolly nice man. I saw him live over at Highbury Play, and his relationship he had playing up front with Ian Wright in particular made me watch the club and fall in love with the club. So it's truly is a real miss and a real shame for someone so young to be not be with us anymore. But it will never be forgotten, because that's how good the Arsenal fans, indeed all the football fans, are. Right. What I want to get into is the starting lineups. And from what I remember, without seeing everything in front of me, is that there was quite a nice, in terms of how I'm concerned, a bit of a nice surprise to see Miles Lewis-Skelly retain his place at left back. It's what I wanted to see. And Gabriel coming back, he had an important part to play. We'll get into it. Partnering Saliba. Of course, I think Timber was at right back. Marino was in the midfield with Odegaard and Rice. And then we had Saka, Martinelli and Havertz.
Correct.
Have I got that right?
That was the lineup.
I did well there. Considering it wasn't in front of me, I think I did pretty good there. Yeah, the only so I'll say AFC always comment and we'll try and get into it. The only route forward now is to win the League Cup and FA Cup. Forget the league and the Champions League. Oh, that's interesting. Arteta's substitutes made no sense. We'll get into that when we get that part of the game done. So I think first off, Posh, I think we kind of agree that's probably the lineup we more or less would have gone for ourselves, right?
The only change I'd have made is put Partey in midfield instead of Marino, because when Partey's been in midfield this season, he's been very good. In midfield, that is. So that's
he's
the
been good at right back as well.
That's the change I would have done because, other than that, on paper, that's the lineup that looked very good. But if the lineup was correct, who's to blame for the 0-0 draw then?
I would suggest basically Jordan Pickford, actually. It was all his fault. AFC always, listen, mate, you're allowed to be angry and furious and all that sort of stuff. Listen, I'm dealing with this man over. Sorry, he's over here. I'm dealing with him. And
no, you're right first time.
Absolutely. And look, we might get a little emotional during this stream and we might get a little bit across with each other. We'll see how it goes. But listen, you're always welcome. Like, share, subscribe, all that stuff. So despite, listen, I think we went out attacking as best as we could. I wasn't sure the picking of Mourinho, to be honest. I'm yet to be completely convinced by him, to be honest with you, in terms of his time in an Arsenal shirt. Is that fair?
He is not. He's okay as a player, but he's not good enough to win you a league title. He's not good enough to win you a major honour. He is a squad player at best. But I don't know why you've been saying that. You were telling me that we had a good transfer window.
I thought we did. I can't control what goes on the field, unfortunately. If I could, I would have laced up me boots and played in defence over the last couple of weeks, perhaps. I will say this. I want to say Everton really frustrated us in the way that they set up. And fair play to them, because they've got to do what they've got to do in terms of picking up points. And it was up to Arsenal to try and break what they set up in front of us. Despite what I'm just saying there, I think they probably came closest to scoring first up with Abdoulaye Doucouré. They had their first sight of goal inside 5 minutes. Counter-attack, Saliba out of position. I will credit Gabriel and the block he put in, preventing the goal going in there. Let me just try and turn the notification sound off if I can.
We'll get to Martinelli in a minute, AFC always. We will get to him in a minute.
Okay.
Sorry.
Look, it's a free platform, mate. It's a free platform. But if we could get to some sort of structure, that's what I'm after, really. Would you like to comment on Gabriel getting in the way from Doucouré, putting Everton ahead, perhaps.
Yes, it was a very good tackle from Gabriel. Probably the only positive from that game, to be honest, from an Arsenal perspective, was that Gabriel tackle.
The only positive?
Yes.
Do you not want to give the young kid, Lewis Skelly, a little bit of credit for playing left back and having a pretty decent game?
Did it lead to anything? I know he did all right. He held his own well.
Yeah.
But do you remember it? No.
All right.
He held his own well. That's all I can say, really. But we remember the Gabriel tackle. And that was very good because we could have gone 1-0 down there. So that was very good from Gabriel. The only positive I can think of, anyway. Because that Odegaard shot, which we'll talk about in a minute, was poor from him.
Are you talking about the first chance he had in the game?
Yes.
Go ahead, describe it, Bosch.
It was a very weak shot from Odegaard. Very good from Saka, though, to find him. And I think was it Lewis Skelly who made the pass beforehand? Which was, as I said,
I could not confirm that at this stage, mate.
Well, Saka found Odegaard. It was a weak shot. And I know, there was 2 moments where, this was one of them, where Jordan Pickford was involved. And I know what you're going to say. You're going to say, we've got to make sure we give Jordan Pickford credit. The only reason you're doing that is to disguise the fact that we were awful.
I'm not
that
saying
shot
we were brilliant,
from Odegaard. That shot from
we...
Odegaard was poor.
Right. Okay. I never said we were brilliant. I never said we deserved anything other than a draw. I'm just trying to analyse the game at the moment, to be fair. So, look, I see how this stream's going to go already. A couple of minutes in, this is great. It's not really what I had in mind, but never mind. So we mentioned the effort Odegaard mentioned. He couldn't keep it down. The second effort was closer, and indeed it did go just wide on his favourite left foot. No, sorry, that was his first one. Odegaard's next attempt, that was the better one that actually produced a great save from Pickford. I've already praised Pickford. I'm not going to do it again, but I'll say that it was Havertz who played the pass to Saka, and then he managed to get past a couple of defenders before picking Odegaard out. He did steady himself. Pickford's position was great, really good actually, because he was off his line and he made himself big. Odegaard's shot was on target. He couldn't get past Pickford, but probably should have scored.
Yeah, and look, Jordan Pickford's a good goalkeeper. We've said this before. Don't get me wrong. But it doesn't change the fact that the majority of the game, in fact, the vast majority of the game, we were really poor.
Vast majority of the game, we had the ball, I think, especially in the first.
What did we do with it? What did we do with it?
Let me finish, Posh, because that's not fair. Don't cut me off. All right. For 30 minutes of it, we had the ball and we tried to press. We tried to get past a very stubborn defence. I mean, I think there's a moment in there where I counted a back 7 or something. And fair play to them for putting up a defence that we couldn't break through. I'm not saying that we shouldn't have won the game. Of course we should have done. But, you know, at the end of the day, I can only comment what had actually happened. We have all the possession during the match, but unfortunately, when it came down to it, the shot, and we did have shots on target, Posh, but we couldn't beat him.
And this is when I bring up this message from AFC Always. We all knew that Dyche would play that low block. We just don't have the players to unlock the low block. It's happened time and time again. This is why I even tweeted this. If you want to stop Arsenal, play a low block. We don't know how to beat it. So that's advice for Crystal Palace in our next 2 games. You want to stop Arsenal, play a low block. We will do nothing with it.
it'll be interesting to see what sort of side we put out on Wednesday. To be honest, that's kind of where my mind goes at the moment. But I see we're jumping on Havertz as well, which is great. AFC always. Havertz the donkey. Dear, oh dear, useless. Well, I can't see a moment. Listen, in all fairness, because of the TV restrictions and the fact that I was busy on Saturday as well, I was working and getting home from work. I haven't seen a great deal of the match. In all fairness,
you weren't missing much.
Well, no, I mean, it was struggling to get 2 minutes worth of highlights out of the game, to be honest, from what I've seen. But to just pick out one player, I think you're sort of pointing at one person, whereas I kind of think there's not just one person to blame here. I think you win as a team, you lose as a team.
Yes, it's not just Havertz. I think Martinelli as well. Do you remember? We'll talk about Martinelli now because
go ahead.
We've gone past this moment while talking about the second half. Because do you remember after the Monaco game where I said that we knew that there's a player in Martinelli and we know that he can perform really well. I thought the game against Everton would have been that opportunity, and then he gets pocketed by Ashley Young, who's about 39 years old. It wasn't that long ago. He had his winter fuel allowance taken away from him. And I'm sorry, but that is... and I'm going to use this expression a lot, and especially when it comes to people viewing Arteta. It's the straw that broke the camel's back for a lot of people. It is now up to a point for me where the only reason I will keep Martinelli at Arsenal is if we get a new manager next season and see how Martinelli performs under that new manager. If Arteta's our manager next season, then I'm afraid it's Martinelli's time's up for Arsenal. Because if he can't get past Ashley Young, then what hope has he got for other Premier League games?
Scored against Chelsea, didn't he, a couple of weeks ago?
But he's back to his old ways now, I'm afraid.
He's had one game.
It's been more than one game he's been poor, Martinelli. Way more than one game. Offside against Fulham. Another one. Yes, AFC always. Dom's not here, so I can make that joke. But yeah, let's have a look at other comments from AFC always, because he's been very lively in the chat.
Oh, I see that.
He says, Saliba was head and shoulders above the rest of the Arsenal players. If he does leave Arsenal for Real Madrid, you can't blame him. He deserves much better than what he's getting. So if we don't win anything, I've said this before, he'll go to Real Madrid as soon as next summer. I've said this. That's
your opinion, Posh, and yeah, I respect it. I'm sure when the summer window pops up, and we'll discuss that when we can. But at the moment, the January window ain't even open yet, so I don't know why we're talking transfers at the moment, to be honest.
We don't have to talk transfers in January anyway, because nothing's going to happen.
I agree with that. I don't think it will. Be unlikely, but
it needs to, but it won't.
But then again, we've picked up the likes of Trossard and we picked the likes of Jorginho up in a couple of January windows. So who knows? Who knows? The old surprise can come up. What do you make of this? Arsenal too predictable when Saka's on the ball, he gets doubled up. That's the thing. He was outstanding in the Champions League the other day.
Yeah, but if he's so world class, he should be able to deal with getting doubled up. People keep saying, "Oh, he's world class." Now he's a good player. He's a very good player, is Bukayo Saka. Don't get me wrong, but I'm sorry, Cole Palmer is better than him.
Oh, no. In my opinion,
yes, he is.
No, in my opinion, you can have your opinion. I disagree with that, but I respect it. Look, Palmer's a good player. He's a really good player. Does he have the skill set? Does he have the pace to get past players? No. What he does have is ability to have a good long range shot. He's excellent at penalties. Really good at penalties. That's kind of where he's in fact, I think he's broken a record for consecutive penalty kicks. Great. That kind of boosts his stats up just lovely, doesn't it?
Well, I'm just saying, when we signed Havertz off Chelsea, they got Cole Palmer. And when we got Sterling off them, they got Neto and Sancho. So, yeah, there we are. Oh, and look at where Chelsea are. They're in second place, 2 points off top. Under a new manager.
Pick up the trophy, are they? So
we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, we will see. We will see. Arteta makes the same subs. No, I don't think he does. What surprised me, and I'm kind of wondering, because I wouldn't have taken Odegaard off during the second half. I think he took him off after about 60, if I'm correct, Posh. But he took him off for young Ethan, didn't he?
I am baffled as to why Odegaard got taken off so early. It wasn't. Did he have his best game? No. But I'm baffled as to why he got taken off so early. But I do want to talk about his substitutions. We were so desperate for a goal, being 0-0 down at home to Everton. The substitutes and the positioning, the new positioning as well. Havertz in midfield and Partey at right back. Why? Mm-hmm. Make it make sense.
So I will try to make it make sense. So Lewis Skelly, I believe, was taken off. And again, he played another 60 minutes. I believe he made his first Champions League start in the week. I believe he's just come back from injury. So having 60 minutes and 60 minutes, I think that's good progress from him. Got no qualms about Lewis Skelly. Because Timber can switch over, he can seem to play either side. I prefer to see Timber play on the right side. Just my observation that I think we get better stuff off the ball on the ball with him linking up with Saka on the right hand side. But yeah, it's frustrating. I get where you put Partey at right back. Well, look at your options, and you know why, because of the injuries. That's basically why. Rightly or wrongly, that's the reason. Again, I personally wouldn't have probably played Marino necessarily, but maybe he thought, okay, I'm going to give Partey a rest here. If I need to play him later on, I could bring him on. The only thing I can think of, because Odegaard looked like, no, I don't agree with this. Odegaard looked our biggest threat in terms of going forward and having efforts on target, etc. The only thing I can think of, no one said this yet, is that I think he picked up another injury. We'll see. It's just my opinion. This is just what I'm saying to you. I have not said this to anybody else. We will see if he's involved with the squad over Wednesday against what some might argue probably be one of our biggest games of the season. I never thought I'd say that. Quarterfinal in the Carabao Cup. But ultimately, Arteta needs to win trophies. I think you'll agree with that. He needs to win some games. That's what he needs to do. I actually think we've played better when Odegaard's been back. AFC always is jumping on the captain saying, we've been poor. He's our creative player. When we need a goal, why not play Odegaard and Nawari? Would you like me to say maybe Nawari came on with a good 30 minutes plus to play? Perhaps we saw a reason why he isn't playing or starting in the Premier League, maybe he isn't quite ready yet for starting in the Premier League. Not picking on the lad because he's only young. And, I want to give the lad every opportunity. And, of course, he's been great in the Carabao Cup when he's played in that. But he played most of the second half. And I think I'm not sure he had much of an impact, as did a lot of the players.
I'll answer the question to why didn't Arteta play Odegaard and Nwaneri, and it sort of links into this. Partey's our best midfielder, and he plays him at right back. Arteta only has one tactic. I tell a lie. He occasionally used the 4-4-2 when Odegaard went missing, and that did not work well at all. And to answer the question here, when everything's going belly up, Arteta has not got a clue at what to do if his main tactic isn't working. He's got no plan B at all. And you saw that against Everton, where he went in panic mode and put Havertz in midfield and Partey at right back.
That was the plan B, to get Jesus involved.
But if that's a plan B, then Jesus Christ almighty.
Did he not provide an assist in the Champions League last midweek?
Assists are not the be-all and end-all of a player. Like, he's a striker.
Yeah, but if he doesn't score, don't you give the guy credit for providing a goal for someone?
Yes, sure, but he hasn't scored since last year. He isn't good enough, I'm afraid, and he has to be sold in January so he can have enough money. What happened to the money that we sold Nketiah with? What happened to the money we sold Ramsdale with? If we have that at our disposal, and if we sell Jesus as well, we've got perfectly enough money to get a striker. But we won't.
Realistically, you do not sell a player like Gabriel Jesus in January when your forward options are somewhat limited anyway, do you, Poch?
That is when you need to get a striker. Jesus is not
Good
going to
luck
change
getting one
anything.
in January. Good luck getting anyone in January. Nawari is ready to leave. Nawari is ready, says AFC always. If Arteta doesn't play him, he will end up leaving. Sorry, AFC always. Love to have you in the chat. But honestly, mate, he's a young kid. He's trying to be careful with him. Like I just said a bit ago, maybe it was shown a little bit that he's not quite ready to play yet.
Look at Lamine Yamal. Look at Amad Diallo yesterday.
Yeah.
But Nwaneri's not ready, apparently.
I was watching a very poor Manchester derby yesterday. Yeah, I watched. Carry on. I don't want to cut you off.
You were saying something.
No. You said watch Diallo, watch the players playing at United in the derby yesterday. Yeah, I didn't want to cut you off.
Yeah, I was just saying. You said Nwaneri isn't ready. Sorry.
I don't think he is.
Look at players like Lamine Yamal tearing up at 17 years old for Barcelona. Look at Amad Diallo yesterday, a product of Man United's youth academy. Look at what he did in the Manchester derby. And we've got people saying that Nwaneri isn't ready. I'm sorry, but this is completely ridiculous. AFC always says Fabregas was 16 years old and Wenger played him.
Sparingly, yeah, he did. At 16, yeah, sparingly. I was there. I was there when he made his debut against Wolves. I remember. I was there. But again, I still don't believe he's quite ready yet.
Look, you're trying to scrape every bottom of the barrel to defend Arteta.
Sorry, I didn't quite hear you, mate.
You're trying to scrape the bottom of every barrel imaginable to defend Arteta.
I'm not even defending Arteta. I never even mentioned Arteta. I'm just giving you my honest opinion, Posh. I think I'm entitled to that. It's my channel. Again, sorry, I haven't got my headphones on. I can't quite hear you.
It's Arteta's decision to not play Nwaneri.
Yes, it is. And because he's not quite ready. I would say, look, he's likely to be in the lineup on Wednesday. I would think that probably would happen. But again, he had the vast majority of the second half, as did, we already spoke about who played and stuff. I don't think he quite has it physically yet. He will do. And when he is good enough, he will be playing. He will be playing. Absolutely no doubt in my mind. I don't think he's quite ready yet. That is the key point I'm trying to make. He's getting a lot of very hyped reviews. And I get that, and I get the excitement about it. Of course I do. But Premier League, I think, is very, very different. It's not played on paper, unfortunately. If it was, it'd be so much easier. I'll tell you that much. And it's not even to do with the age. It's to do with whether if you're physically ready or not. That's the point I'm trying to make. If it's not coming across, that's what I'm trying to make. Perhaps the physicality of the Premier League, when you are put against a position where Everton did, where they play out that defence thing, and you're trying to find that crucial pass out somewhere, when you're trying to get past about 7 of them, it's extremely difficult. And I definitely feel like our more experienced players should have, could have, and would have get past there, but they didn't. That's the point.
AFC always says, did you know after 16 games this season, I take it, Arteta got 1 point more than Wenger had in his last season at Arsenal Football Club. And in that last season, majority of fans wanted him gone and were tired of him. Meanwhile, you've got fans...
Posh. You are tired of him.
It's not just me. It's not just me, right? If you're talking about Arteta now, I think, as I mentioned, as I say, the straw that broke the camel's back, that game against Everton, so many more people have now said, I've had enough of Arteta. He's not going to take us anywhere. He's not going to take us to a league title. He might not even take us to a domestic cup. I don't think he will. He won't. Look at Arne Slot at Liverpool. New manager, new to the Premier League. Yes, I know that Liverpool team have challenged for league titles in the past. I get that.
Yeah.
But look at what he's doing. New manager, and look at that. But the worst is Chelsea. 2 seasons ago, they finished 12th. The year before, 6th. So many people were saying, oh, they're in a mess. They're a shambles. They get someone who many of us didn't know as a manager, and look, they're 2 points off top. In a title, and yes, they are in a title race.
Yeah, they may well be. They may well be. Again, very different situations. Very different, especially with Slot. Credit to Slot. He's come into Liverpool. He's done great for them. Well done.
Yeah, he's made them attack with 10 men.
Yeah, they drew it to Fulham. That's exactly what we did. Congratulations. Well done.
They were down to 10 men at 1-0 down, and they made it 2-2. Not spectacular, far from it. But at least they actually went for it with 10 men. If that was us, we'd be sitting back, defending for our lives, and inviting so much pressure to the opposition and not trying to win the game at all.
You are putting that line out so much, and I'm getting very frustrated with it because
it's true.
We've got don't talk over me. Don't talk over me. I've had enough of it. This is my channel. I'm taking control of it right now. We've gone down to 10 men against good teams, against Manchester City, particularly. And what do you expect us to do? Do you want to go? We'll put 3 up front, shall we? No,
I expect us to win at home to Brighton and away to Bournemouth. We were cowering.
So I heard part of that. Again, away from home, yeah, was difficult. Of course it was. No, we weren't great that day. I've said that. I said that during the live match. What I didn't do is start throwing things around.
I knew it was coming. I knew we were going to just let as much pressure. Why are we talking about the Bournemouth game anyway?
You brought it up, not me.
I brought up how Liverpool actually went for it with 10 men. Meanwhile, we just park the bus all the time.
Well, you see again. You brought that up, not me, son. So I'm sorry. That's how it went. AFC always in the chat saying slowly this fan base. Sorry, I can't quite say it. So this fan base. I'm reading, Posh. I can do it. This fan base are realising that Arteta can't get over the line. Yeah, okay, I've seen that. Past 2 years, we were competing and challenging Manchester City for a league title. Man City have fallen off, and we still can't capitalise on Manchester City. Yeah, just because one side falls apart, and yeah, it's extraordinary how that's gone down. I'm feeling green man syndrome is what it is. I think you're feeling a little jealous of the people up there, and yeah, quite rightly perhaps, because you want to be up there, you want to be leading the table. Of course you do. That's what the old thing is. How far down are we in the league? Remind me. What are we, 15, 16 games?
We're 4 points behind second and 6 points behind first. We're
Fantastic.
so many points worse off than last season and the season before.
Right. But again, I ain't writing off the season yet. We're in the quarterfinals, so you say, of the League Cup. Yeah, we've got the FA Cup to come again in January. So the fact you're writing us off in domestic cups at this stage is almost ridiculous, to be honest.
Because I know what's going to happen. You
know nothing, Posh. I'm sorry, until you get out there and we battle out there. No, I'm sorry, you can't predict the future. You're not Nostradamus, are you?
Palace will play a low block and we'll struggle in both games. If Palace play a low block, we're going to struggle, because that's the only way. That's the way that teams can stop us. Play a low block, because he won't do anything with it.
Well, we'll see, won't we? We'll deal with Palace on Wednesday. Again, yeah, this is the situation I've been thinking about for a couple of weeks. I just see Posh Bertie's brain completely explode. Nketiah knocks us out of the League Cup. I'm taking a long vacation. All right, then. See you later. Palace beat Brighton. Yeah, good. Would you like me to give them a little reward? Would you like me to give them a little trophy? I don't know. You tell me.
Well, let's just hope that we beat Palace in the quarter-final of the Carabao Cup on Wednesday, because I dread to see how you are going to be feeling if we get knocked out. And yeah, can you imagine? I mean, no, I don't want to say anything. I don't want to say anything about Nketiah ain't going to knock us out, because I don't want to say anything. I don't want to say anything when it comes to that.
No, because you know what it's going to be? It's going to be Rob Holding coming into it. Hello, Gundown. Good to see you.
Rob Holding will come back like Edge in the 2020 Royal Rumble. And
my God, whose music is this? We break.
Good to see you, Carl. By the way, we will get you on the channel at some point.
Absolutely. But we might have to pre-record it and censor it.
He's a good bloke, Carl. Can subscribe to his channel.
Good guy. We agreed on something.
But we agree on a lot of things. People don't realise that.
Yeah, you say. But what I do tend to do is argue my point, and it's yeah. Hashtag. Then you gone down. Yeah, okay. Do you know what? I don't even know if there's any point carrying on this review, to be honest with you. Because
where were we?
I think we got as far as about 60 minutes taking Odegaard off.
We got to how Arteta's substitutes were not very good, putting Partey at right back and all that.
Has he or has he not been pretty comfortable at right back?
It's not his natural position.
No, it's not. You're right. Modern game, you have to play sort of pretty much about 300 positions. Hello, Dom. Welcome in.
Yeah, it's good to see you.
Yeah. And Dom knew what I was going to do at the start of the stream as well.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, I got in touch with him. I said I've got props and stuff. Question. Sorry, I've gone one above.
I got the Dom's comment. Sorry.
Go.
There's no option. I know what you mean, Dom. There's no other option because Ben White is injured.
Tomiyasu as well, unfortunately. I mean, our other options are very much youth team, aren't they? Youth team, and it's great putting. If I look in pain, by the way, my right foot has just gone to sleep. The way I was just leaning on it, so I'm trying to be a man, and trying to sort of fight it off.
Right.
It's one thing introducing the likes of Lewis Skelly, Nawari. When you're introducing 3, 4, 5 into the side, it's very, very difficult, isn't it? It puts a lot of unnecessary. This is the point I'm trying to make. If you weren't getting it, puts a lot of unnecessary pressure on these young guys who are taking that big step from. You've got to remember Premier League 2 in the under 21s, under 18s is very, very different to taking that other step up to the Premier League. That's what I'm trying to get at. And I'll say AFC always comment, which is just there. Party at right back is no, sorry, hang on, there it is. Question: Arteta is phase 6. Will there be another rebuild? I don't think it needs a drastic rebuild. No, I don't. I do think. I mean, we can all fantasy book getting ourselves another striker, and we could all pretend that we can just negotiate a deal like there's no money issues anywhere. That's exactly why FFP has been put in place, by the way, because of the amount of money that transfer fees go with. It's just not sustainable. It's just ridiculous. But that's just my opinion. You probably will disagree with me because.
Well, I'm hoping we get a director of football that actually knows what they're doing, and someone who doesn't take 2 months to sign one player. That already would be an improvement. But I do think we do need a bit of a clear out because Jesus needs to be sold. If Arteta's our manager next season, Martinelli has to be sold. And also, whilst I probably won't get rid of one of them, the likes of Partey and Jorginho are not getting any younger. We've got to find replacements for them in the not too distant future. And if we don't win any trophies and Saliba goes to Real Madrid, we got to think about that as well, because that will happen.
I mean, look, I can't predict the future. We'll see about that one because I know he's got his contract for at least another couple of years. That is for facts. Again, you're going to say to me, but it doesn't matter, Lee. He can go wherever he likes. Contracts do mean something at the end of the day. That's an interesting point. And there's a new name here as well.
Yeah, we've got the chat's very busy today.
Joseph
O'Hanlon, yes, new name.
Joseph, hello. And goodness me, that's a lovely recommendation. Joseph said, "Good evening, gentlemen. Was recommended this channel by Arsenal, the history and more." That's Jez. That's really nice. Thank you very much for joining us. Great to have you here. What we tend to do, or try to do, and in fairness, although this has been quite lively between Posh and myself tonight, and I knew it would be.
I expected it to be as well, to be honest.
That's why I came and started the stream in tinsel and played my keyboard, because I wanted to lighten the mood before he started with me. We are for the best part family friendly, and we try and we get all sorts of opinions here. Clearly, yours truly backs Arteta. Yeah, I said it. Clearly, the gentleman to my right here doesn't. Joseph is a Chelsea supporter. Fair play, mate.
Yeah. Fair
play. You guys are doing, incredibly well. What a difficult job he's come into, and he's doing good. He's doing good work so far. Interesting. how he's approaching the Europe competition as well. Very similar to Arteta did, in that changing quite a lot of the starting 11, almost like a different squad in the Europa this season.
It's called good squad depth. That's what Chelsea have, and I mean,
they've got about 700 players, so yeah, fair play to them.
You know, people thought they were a shambles, but no, Maresca has done very well so far at Chelsea. They're now 2 points off top. Meanwhile, we're regressing. Gun down. Thank you for the wrestling reference. Ted DiBiase rule. Everybody's got a price. There we are. Thank you.
I like this point. I like this point from AFC Always, saying David O'Leary, of course, the record appearance maker at the Arsenal still, should be the director of football. Knows the club inside and out. Well, he certainly did. He certainly did. When he was with the club, he was there from certainly when I was born, thereabouts, to about 1993. He had a heck of a run at the Arsenal, and he won titles everywhere. He had a decent career as a manager, but unfortunately Leeds fell apart after he left. And he did. It wasn't so great at Villa, but David O'Leary, no doubt, is a legend at Arsenal Football Club. That is for sure. Interesting idea. Very interesting idea.
Let me go through a lot of these comments in the chat. Gun Down says, in all seriousness, we spent 700 million on making our team more one-dimensional than a Charles Dickens novel. So there we are.
I'm not that intelligent to know what a Charles Dickens novel looks like, to be fair.
He made a book called A Christmas Chorale, I think. AFC.
Never heard of it.
What was the score when... I think it had the Muppets in it. AFC Always says, question, what was the score when Arsenal played Brighton at the Emirates Stadium this season? It was 1 apiece. Declan Rice got sent off for better or for worse regarding decision making, and we parked the bus. And Niall Kane, good to see you. I think we addressed you so far, but good to see you, Niall. No, you're not. You weren't too late here.
You're mid-debate, mate. It's a bit lively tonight, to be fair.
Yeah, we need to keep an eye on the chat because it's very busy. Niall says, missed opportunities. Liverpool and City both dropped points. Liverpool drew. I know Liverpool drew in the end. I agree City with that. Also, I mean, City have been in free fall. What I will say in the City game, and you know what I'm going to say here, Man United's new manager did something in 2 months that Arteta could not do in 5 years, and that's win at the Etihad. And we've got a better team than Man United. So there you go. But yeah, trust the process and all that.
All my stress
run down referencing to Saliba. Yep, I know. Josh Kroenke was at the Everton game to witness the horror show, but these owners don't care as long as we get Champions League money. Look, as I said, actually, another game that happened was the Tottenham game where they ran rings around Southampton like it was nothing. Even though they won 5-0, their fans were protesting against Daniel Levy. They won 5-0 and their fans were still unsatisfied with the ownership. Do Tottenham fans have higher standards than some of our fans? That is a big debate there. You don't see that coming from Arsenal. We draw 0-0 and people are still saying back your manager and all that. Name any player that Arteta has improved. I think I can legitimately answer that.
Go ahead.
Gabriel's gone better year on out.
Saliba.
Year out. Saliba has definitely. I mean, he was good anyway, but he's definitely been proved as a phenomenal defender. So there are players that Arteta has improved, but at the end of the day, we got to get the big old silverware. We got to see the armpits, as they say. We got to see them lift up that silverware. Those improved players.
I agree with that. That's why we're all. That's why all the teams in the Premier League, the Football League. That's why everybody in the whole thing goes for the playing football, because we want to win trophies. I think we actually all have the same goal. Unfortunately, we. I think we all get frustrated. I think I get it. I do get it. But look, we're still. You say something. I think AFC always wrote us off regarding the Champions League. Are we not third? Are we not
We're not
third
going to
in
win.
that?
I
Who
think
knows? You can laugh about it if you want. Have we not had some of our best moments of our season playing in the
Lee,
Champions League?
I know we performed well in the Champions League in some games anyway, but there is a better chance of Sean Stasiak making a return to WWE and winning the World Heavyweight Championship than we do winning the Champions League this season, I'm afraid.
Love a bit of meat. Thanks for that. Gun
yes.
down, Odegaard. Oh boy. Well, we did have the Odegaard discussion a little bit earlier on. Ross, take it.
AFC always says, and I think this is a bit harsh on Bayern Munich last season, said we couldn't beat the worst Bayern side in the Champions League. Whilst I do agree that the Bayern side last season and this season is far from the likes of Frank Ribery and Ian Robben and those players, but I do think it is a decent side. Yes, I think we could have actually we could have won in Munich after the 2-2 draw because we actually played quite well in the first half, if I remember, in the game in Munich. We could have actually done it, but so it was there, but we didn't make things count in the end. But I do think that there are some good players in that Bayern squad. That being said, there were some opportunities where we should have won in that leg.
There's some very good players in that Bayern squad, including a name called Sane, whose name keeps on getting linked with Arsenal still.
He's been linked with us for about 5 years. He's like Wilfred Zaha. He never goes away.
Yeah, he's the new Lurk Wilf, is he?
To be fair, no. What? I think we're gonna get a bingo here in posh Bertie cliches. I'd rather have Sane in the team than Raheem Sterling. So yeah, no one cares about moments unless you win a trophy or trophies in the running towards it. Moments in football without winning anything is the same as taking a selfie. It's a picture without a soul. There we are.
I mean, gun down, mate. That's deep. That's deep. Look,
taking souls and digging holes.
Absolutely. Thank you for that, Posh. I appreciate your reference. And I got it. I like that. Look, we all have that passion of wanting us to do well. We all want to pick up trophies. It's interesting. The way, I mean, I'm looking at the season a little bit differently, unfortunately, to maybe the last two. And you guys who are debating with me and stuff, and I get it, because we're seeing a Man City side that are not functioning properly, and we look across, we look at Liverpool, and we're seeing that all of a sudden their new managers, they're providing some good stuff. Even in adversity, they went down to 10 men against Fulham and they got that much coveted draw. Well done. Look, I'm going to be serious now. I'm going to be serious.
At least they played their football with 10 men.
I can't really comment because literally, I'll be honest with you. I will be honest with you, Posh. Up until this evening, about 5:30, 6 o'clock, I hadn't even brought myself to watch the Arsenal game from Saturday. I actually watched the Arsenal ladies game on Sunday and enjoyed that more than I thought I might have enjoyed from Saturday's highlights. There you go. That's the shoot. That's me talking from the heart. All right.
Do you want to talk about the ladies' game for a bit? I mean, I've got nothing to add on it because I didn't watch it. But if you want to say some things regarding it, I'm sure. Let's talk about some good things involving Arsenal.
I will do really briefly. I will do very, very briefly, and I will keep it brief. It was a scrappy game. We played away at Liverpool. Matt, actually, I think, has already covered it on the channel. So without sort of going over him a little bit, we scored We won 1-0 at Liverpool. Alicia Russo scored the goal. It wasn't the greatest game, but a very, very important win. Excuse me, my voice isn't still quite right, especially because I've had to raise it a few times tonight. We've got a very important win. It does bunch us up a little bit in terms of the WSL because other teams dropped a few points over the weekend. So that's basically how I'm going to cover that because I think Matt's already done it. Matt did very kindly drop a video for us on Goon and Gathering earlier on today regarding the League Cup draw. So go back and check that out. And yes, that's basically where I'm going because I want to sort of try and keep the women's side Arsenal and the men's side sort of kind of separate because I don't want to step on Matt's toes because he put in the effort for doing the video earlier on.
I think we've talked about Arteta enough. I think AFC Always. We've kind of answered this kind of question before many times, but what I will say is I'm sick and tired of the people saying that there's no one out there to replace Arteta. There's plenty of managers out there that can replace Arteta and dare say possibly do a better job.
And I won't say it's because I have an emotional attachment with Mikel Arteta. No, I don't. I actually genuinely think he's managed to bring us forward. Maybe you guys are thinking, because we're not top of the table here over, we're just coming over to Christmas and that's where we've been, isn't it? You guys love your football as much as I do, and I know when we started Goon and Gathering, do you remember we started our first stream against Southampton and we were buzzing because we were top of the league and then we go and draw against them. Look,
yes,
like I said, maybe my goals for the season have somewhat changed a little bit. Not to say that I'm ruling us out of getting up that league, but obviously our next goal, our next game is Wednesday night, 7:30 kickoff, if I'm not mistaken.
It's on Wednesday against Palace.
Yeah, absolutely.
7:30 on Sky.
We'll see how we get on there. Done down. What's not healthy, mates? Can you remind me? It's very difficult, as you'll know, sir, being on a live stream. And then
he's talking about your view on Arteta, saying that you think he's the right man for the job.
It's an opinion, right? It's an opinion. Gun Down can have an opinion on it. Posh Bertie can have an opinion. Dom can have an opinion. All of you, AFC Always can have an opinion. It's what the game's about, right?
Arteta does not change out the tactics, formation, or the personnel. I said this 2 seasons ago. Look, I was very skeptical on Arteta when he got the job. I'll be honest with you.
You said that to me before, yeah.
Back in 2021 and 22, back in those days, I wanted him gone. I was a lot more lenient towards him in the first season where we were title challengers because I thought if he can do it again, let's see. We then got knocked out of more cup competitions the next season, and I was back to wanting him out again. Only one season I was lenient towards Arteta, and I still I stand by everything I've said about Arteta. He is not the right man for the job, but that is my opinion.
So, okay, if I was to ask you a realistic question, then, Posh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So just say you're on the Arsenal board right now,
Yep.
right at this minute.
Yep.
At this minute. And you're saying to me, okay, get rid of Arteta now. Give me a realistic replacement.
Well, you noticed how when you can buy out managers. Look at what Man United did. They bought out Sporting Lisbon's manager. I will
Yeah.
try. AFC always, you've hit the nail on the head. I do the same with Simone Inzaghi. It will be very tough in the middle of the season, but as Gundown said, everybody's got a price. If not, if we have to get someone who is not employed in management at the moment, you'll probably say it's unrealistic, but Zidane.
That's interesting. That is interesting. I don't know if he has any interest in coming back to football, but interesting choice.
No. But realistically, if Arteta is going to leave, which he won't, unfortunately for me, but it will probably be at the end of the season. And that will be when we need to approach Inter Milan for Simone Inzaghi. That's my pick. That's my pick.
Interesting. Okay. Well, I'm going to make it a little bit of a mission of mine to know a little bit more about Inzaghi, and I'll try and follow a little bit of Inter Milan. Then I can say what I think, because I can't at the moment. Being straight up with you, and everyone in the chat, and I appreciate everyone's comments tonight because it's been lively. I knew it would be, and I appreciate you all being here. I'll have a little look in Inzaghi. I remember him as a player.
What I will say is he's a league winner, won the Serie A with Inter Milan last season. He has been in a Champions League final, albeit not at the best receiving end of the Champions League final. He has given Man City a run for their money. He's played quite decent football from what I've heard. So I think he's definitely an option that I'm really intrigued with.
Interesting. Well, I don't think we need to go over any more of the 0-0 draw, to be honest, against Everton at this stage, because we have gone over an hour. What I will ask you is that, being our league predicament as it is, being that we are where we are in the league, this is a quarter final in a major competition, Posh. So, if you were the manager on Wednesday night, tell me, what would you do? Obviously, you've got the squad that you have right now. You can't do anything about that right now. Tell me what you think you'd be looking at to go out and beat Crystal Palace on Wednesday.
Well, I would keep David Raya in goal because the only other option would be Tommy Setford, and I would not start him against Crystal Palace, against the Premier League side. He's too inexperienced for that. I know you're going to say, oh, but what about Wanyeri? No. Tommy Setford has not featured, not at all. Wanyeri is the one. But I play Wanyeri. I'd start Wanyeri in Odegaard's position as well.
Go 1 to 11 for me, Bosh, if you can. Go 1 to 11 for me.
Oh, I can't. I can't at the top of my head because it depends who's fit. I think we are going to put out a more stronger team than we have in previous Carabao Cup games. But we do have an option to rotate, though. So that's why instead of... I would probably play Wanyeri in Odegaard's position. And I think we are going to have to go Saliba and Gabriel as well in defence. I think we are going to have to be quite strong if we're going to win this competition. You could get away with Kivior in there, but I don't know. I think Saliba should definitely play anyway.
I'd probably be keeping Lewis Skelly at left back.
Yeah.
Does that make sense to me? I'd probably play Timber at right back. I'd probably put Partey into the midfield.
Yeah.
I'd be really interested when the press conference dropped we hear what's happened with Odegaard, because I don't think, if he was fit, I don't think he would have taken him off on Saturday. So, like you said, maybe Ethan will play, maybe alongside Partey and maybe alongside Jorginho, perhaps.
Jorginho will play, I think. Jorginho will play.
Yeah.
My
Perhaps,
best bets will probably. My best bet will probably be if Arteta will probably go with Jorginho, Rice, and Wanyeri, and he'll play Partey at right back again, which I don't want him to do. But
you've
to
never
me,
mentioned that before.
For me, it'll probably be Jorginho, Partey, and Wanyeri.
Up front, I would probably play Trossard.
Yeah.
I'd still play Havertz.
Yeah, you're gonna have to.
I mean, do you want to play Sterling?
No. I think that's the big. I mean, I know we didn't pay anything for him, but it still feels like a waste of money. I did say they'll regret it, and there we go.
Okay. Do you want to help me out a little bit here with the comments that have come down, Posh, please?
Yes.
Thank you.
AFC always says, Arteta better play a strong lineup. I know we've got Palace at the weekend, but for me, this League Cup game is much more important than the league game. That's why I said, if you want to save our SOS, save our season, we got to focus on the Cups and the Champions League as well, definitely, more than the Premier League, because the title, in my view, is completely over. It was over after the Newcastle game, in my view. Gun Down says, Odegaard has been subbed 22 times. All of them have come from a draw or a losing position, but yet he is the creative spark. He has not been a creative spark the past few games. Almost if I was telling you, not you yourself, Gun Down, because you would have known it already, probably, but I've been telling a few people that Odegaard isn't the saviour you think he is. Good player, don't get me wrong, but he's not a game changer because we've been playing pretty drab football when he was fit anyway. Where are you? AFC always says Odegaard has been subbed 23 times. Arsenal League title was over on Halloween. It was over after the Newcastle game. As I said, and Gun Down says Ethan needs to be given a chance. I agree, and I think he will start against Palace. I think he will.
Yeah.
If I can imagine Arteta, I think even he would start him. So if I'm thinking that, he has to.
Indeed. Look, we'll see what happens on Wednesday night. I do feel oddly that this Wednesday night fixture in the League Cup is very, very important. It's a league, it's a cup competition. It's something that we definitely have a good chance of getting our hands on. We'll see what happens. I think probably at this sort of stage, Posh, because I think we've sort of gone back and forth with each other.
Yeah.
About everything that's gone on tonight, and I think that probably would just about do us for tonight. Unless there's anything else that you want to add before we close it out, Posh.
I've just seen this comment from AFC Always.
Go ahead.
But top Gooners don't want to win this League Cup because I've not said this in a long time. They've got bigger fish to fry. Oh, I haven't said that in ages. But let's see what happens in the League Cup against Crystal Palace. Hopefully, we won't just fry the fish; we'll batter them. That's what we want. Yes,
nicely put.
But if Palace play a low block, it's an uphill battle because we don't. It's the way we're stopped. It's the way Arsenal will stop. Play a low block and Arsenal will struggle. We've got to fight. We've got to. Arteta has to actually try and figure out how to stop that from happening. But yeah.
What I will say, Posh, I know it's been lively tonight. I've actually enjoyed it. It's been good. I love the with each other.
I was looking forward to it tonight. I was actually really looking forward to it.
I knew you would be. That's why I tried to put you off right at the start.
Well, it didn't work. Anyway, Yeah, so the social media banners have come up. So you can find me on X at Posh Bertie and Instagram at Bertie Wanless. And I also run Gooner Gathering's Instagram account, which is at Gooner Gathering, where we watch Arsenal so you don't have to. And no, AFC always. I will not shave off my eyebrows if Nketiah scores. I will not even shave my head. That was a drunken bet that I put on myself last season, and I am very glad, even though Nketiah was playing for us, I am very glad that he did not become the top goal scorer in all competitions. And I didn't have to shave my head and my eyebrows, and I'm not making that bet again.
I will.
What if he...
If Nketiah scores, I will shave off my eyebrows. I'll say it now. There you go.
On Wednesday?
If Nketiah scores on Wednesday, I will shave off my eyebrows. And that's how confident I am. And damn right, I'm going to put that as a short as well.
And will you shave him off live on stream?
I will confirm that with you on another time.
Oh, wow.
Look. I haven't totally ruled out doing the live stream on Wednesday night yet. I'll clip it myself. Son. It's all right. I'll look. We'll see what happens. I'm not going to put Bertie under pressure on the stream right now live. We'll talk about it off air because I've got a couple of plans that I want to do over the next couple of days. So listen, what I would say to you all is keep an eye on our social media, particularly on X, where you can find us at Gooner Gathering. You can find me, of course, at Gooner Lee Meads. Of course, I will try and do some TikToks after the stream because, goodness gracious me, it's been lively, ladies and gentlemen. If you have got this far on the stream, we're an hour and a quarter in nearly. Please make sure you hit that like button. It really helps the channel out. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, please make sure you do so. I'm not sure I'm going to put that on the screen, to be honest, AFC always, because I don't think anyone needs to see all of that. But
behind a paywall, you can, just not on YouTube.
I mean, look, I haven't done anything exclusive on Twitch in a while.
There you go. $9.99 a month.
Absolutely. Only Gooner Lee Meads fans, right? Anyway, that all being said, genuinely, thank you all for watching. I knew this was to be a lively one tonight, so thank you all for watching. Thank you, Posh Bertie, for bouncing off me like you did. I knew you would, and I've enjoyed it. Despite what you might think, I was always up for a lively one tonight, so thank you very much for being here. Hello to Sam Wilson.
You're late, Mr. Poland. Wilson. How dare you? From Poland. Nice.
Yeah, he must be on his jollies. I've got to say, Sam, mate, who's going to talk about Saturday night's main event on WrestleDogs then? Do you want a presenter? Hit me up, mate. I mean, me and the boy can talk about Saturday night's main event if you want to. Anyway, the comments are still coming. Lee, don't bottle it like Arteta has done for the...
I'll make sure of it. Don't worry.
I have said on a live stream, and I will not go back on it. Okay? All right, Brutus. I don't even want to pronounce that. In Krakow on my Hollybobs.
On the Hollybobs. We'll have a gap last week, but we will mention it next week.
I actually watched the whole show. I mean, give me admin power. I'll do it. I'll do it tomorrow.
Could do it on
Mrs. M's birthday, by the way, Posh. It's Mrs. M's birthday tomorrow.
Oh, lovely.
So, can we do it together before we go? Happy
happy early
birthday to
birthday
you. Happy birthday to you.
you.
Happy birthday,
Birthday,
dear
dear
Mrs. M.
Anna.
Happy
Birthday to
birthday
you.
to
I'm so sorry, everyone.
you. It's beautiful. Thank you for the Polish lesson, Sam. We appreciate it, mate. I don't.
Krakow.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, we are out of here for this evening. Again, I'll let you know when we are live next. There may be something come up tomorrow on the channel. But until then, thank you very much for watching. And we are out here. So take care. Brush your hair. And we'll see you soon.